reading the 14-page indictment yesterday were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Diddy is about to get cooked by the feds, but now the word on the street is that he's about to pull Jay-Z into the pan next. Indeed, it now seems like it's open season for every celebrity that prides themselves on associating with him.
What I heard is that over the next 18 months, and honestly, when did Diddy start getting exposed? It was in December, or was it January? When did the Diddy stuff pop off? Because I knew about 2 years ago I knew about a year before the Diddy stuff went down that was going down first. Then it's going to be Jay-Z. November? Okay. After the powers that be, the PTB, the industry, whatever you want to call them, once they're done with Diddy, right? And this is going to be going on for some time, but once, I guess you can say, the public humiliation, basically after the major documentaries come out, right? After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right?
But why Jay-Z? Has he ever done anything? Well, Jaguar Wright has been accusing him of heinous crimes for years now.
I said he was going to jail because God told me he was going to jail.
Have you ever been in one of these Diddy parties?
Yes, I have. I sat down with Storm Monroe 4 years ago and said that man was an extra, and he was using the business to traffic young women and men. I said all, but when I pray for something, it always comes true. And I prayed the same prayer for Sean Carter. Y'all better get ready. I knew between the two Seans, go for the weaker one. Go for the knees. And I told Sean Carter, you are so closely tied to Diddy.
She also went on to bring up how Diddy has been incriminating people for years.
Being that he's in there with the feds and all that, you think Diddy gonna start giving up some names?
What are you talking about? He's been giving up names for years.
Okay.
Make no mistake about it, Sean Carter and Sean Combs are government informants. There is absolutely no way guys like this, who were the bottoms in their neighborhood, end up on top without government sanctioned help. These aren't the kind of guys that started off super scary. They hung with the super scary guys, but these weren't the kind of guys that started off. See, everybody sees them for who they are now, but you're not imagining who the they were. Who they were before. Before they made their little special deals. Before they started doing all of the things they do. And listen, go back and listen to Gene Deal. There was an evolution from Puffy to the Diddler.
But how did Diddy do all this? How did he get so much dirt on people? Well, it may be because he recorded everything that happened at his parties by force.
Jay's speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exist, you know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is gonna speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bruh, can you imagine he had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs or little tape recorders, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known, if it's on videotape.
Yeah, man, I know they gotta be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes and stuff.
Diddy has been a major player in Hollywood for decades, always surrounded by an A-list crowd that includes Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Rick Ross, Usher, and even Justin Bieber. When he threw his extravagant 50th birthday bash at a mansion in Beverly Hills back in 2019, the guest list was packed with stars like Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Pharrell, and Snoop Dogg. You know it's a party when you've got that kind of lineup. But now, with some serious legal issues looming over him, his famous friends could find themselves in a tricky spot. Former prosecutor Nima Rahmani, who heads up West Coast trial lawyers, spoke to the U.S. Sun about the possible fallout for Diddy's A-list crew if this case goes to trial. According to Rahmani, celebs like Jay-Z could technically be subpoenaed, but don't expect to see them taking the stand.
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
As for Jay-Z, Rahmani explained that if he's just a witness and didn't take part in the alleged sex acts, he might be asked to testify. But if he was involved, he'd either be charged or conveniently left out of the witness list. Prosecutors don't want witnesses who participated in crimes but are getting a free pass, Rahmani added. Jay-Z and Diddy go way back, all the way to the early 90s, and their friendship has been solid for years. Jumped into the conversation earlier this year, things got a little awkward. While working on a documentary about Diddy's legal woes, 50 Cent called out Jay-Z for staying quiet after police raided Diddy's house. He even joked about it on Instagram, posting a picture of a milk carton with Jay-Z's face and the word missing on it. Classic 50. In Rahmani's view, none of Diddy's celebrity pals are likely to come rushing to his defense as this legal storm brews. The only people who might stick by him? His family and maybe a few close friends. Diddy's in deep trouble, and things aren't looking good for him.
It's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You gotta have principles, you gotta have morals, you gotta keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bro.
Gene Deal went on to talk about all the big celebrities he learned this predatory behavior from.
You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he can get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro.
Prosecutors are accusing the hip-hop mogul of orchestrating wild, fueled sexual marathons called freak-offs involving female victims and male sex workers. These so-called performances sometimes stretched over days. Diddy, who pleaded not guilty, tried to get out on bail by offering some pretty strict conditions. He promised to limit female visitors to his Miami Beach mansion, hoping that would help his case. His legal team pushed for a $50 million bail deal with his Miami home as collateral. They also offered to have him electronically monitored and under strict visitor limits. Just family, caretakers, and friends who aren't tied to the federal case. It didn't work.
Diddy Combs has been denied bail in connection with the sexual abuse and sex trafficking charges he faces. And as Les Trent reports, the music mogul who once traveled by private jet to all those mansions is now in a jail that is notorious for its bad living conditions.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs spent his first night behind bars inside a facility that is being called Hell on Earth.
According to reports, they were willing to hand over a log of all his visitors to the government every night and agreed to weekly drug testing. These restrictions were meant to calm the court's fears about Diddy potentially intimidating or contacting witnesses. But the prosecutors weren't buying it. They pointed to Diddy's history of intimidating accusers and witnesses.
In late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee.
And even brought up security footage that showed him hitting his then-girlfriend, singer Cassie, in a hotel hallway. The indictment paints a disturbing picture of how Diddy allegedly used his power and prestige to lure women in under the guise of romantic relationships, only to coerce them into participating in these so-called freak-offs. The performances were apparently elaborate, with Diddy directing and recording them while, watching from the sidelines. Some of these wild events reportedly went on for days, leaving everyone involved so drained that they needed IV fluids to recover from the drugs and physical exhaustion.
Because they don't want to get no kind of put in their system. But what they don't understand is in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They didn't put the pills and the stuff in there, the roofies, the ecstasy, the ease, all whatever they put it in the juice. Now, those girls who like the mixed drinks, you understand what I'm saying? They gonna pour their own sexual act because they don't understand it ain't in the bottles, it's in the juice. Those guys, they learn that and they put it to those girls who don't know no better.
Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, is claiming that all the freak-offs were just part of his rocky, on-again, off-again relationship with singer Cassie, and insists nothing about them was coercive. But prosecutors? They're telling a different story. According to them, they've already spoken to over 50 victims and witnesses, and that number is expected to grow.
Was he doing this back then, these freak-off sessions, when you were security? Because I'm looking at this lawsuit, and that's what they would call it, freak-off sessions, when, you know, Cassie, she'll have sex with the male prostitute while he'll masturbate.
Bruh, I can't say, because I can't say that. When I used to see him swing, it was always with him, another dude, and two girls. You know what I'm saying? When he was swinging with other people, you know what I'm saying? He always had other girls in the room or another guy in the room, even with his girl Kim, and he was swinging with her. So that freak off things, but him videotaping and everything like that, no, I can't say that I was privy to that. But you knew what was going on, you know, and just in the instant when people got it confused when I said, when he was in the room with Sarah and her girlfriend, and he had Ja Rule and him in the room. Yo, I didn't know they was doing anything freaky until Ja came out and said, yo, y'all didn't want to be in there because there's a lot of freaky things going on. So I guess that was one of those freak-off sections.
When authorities searched Combs' home earlier this year, they reportedly found videos of the infamous freak-offs, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. The indictment paints a violent picture of Combs, accusing him of choking, shoving, hitting, kicking, and even dragging victims by their hair, leaving them with serious injuries. He even did this to one of his exes, Misa Hilton.
A lot of people didn't even think that Cassie was telling lies, Gene been telling lies, Lil Rob been telling lies, everybody lying on Diddy. But Diddy told the truth. Diddy's the only one told the truth. He said, y'all just keep watching, the truth will soon come out. And you see what came out? My man, he punching that little girl in the head. Yo, you don't even kick a dog, man. You don't even kick a dog, bro. He kicking that little girl like she's a dog, man. It was crazy, man. Any man that has a sister, any man that has a friend that's a girl, any man that has a child, you understand, who saw that, if they wasn't appalled, if they wasn't like, yo, I want to I want to beat the, you know what I'm saying? We can't say that on television, man, or on the internet or YouTube, but any man who saw that wish they could put their hands on Diddy at that time, bro. That shit was appalling, bro. It was crazy, man. And when I saw it, you know, I could imagine what Kim went through. I could imagine what Misa went through. You understand? It was just crazy, man, for that dude to do that to that girl like that, man.
I can't believe what I seen, man. I still can't believe what I seen in that video, man. Like the way he was kicking her was like he was kicking a field goal, man.
Bruh, when I saw him run down the, first of all, when I saw the white towel, I got flashbacks of him and Ja Rule running out the room. He beat that woman till she was crawling up under a car, man. No matter how small she was crawling up under the car, man. You got to be real scared, man. That's crazy.
Meanwhile, Jay-Z's name is being dragged into the spotlight too, with some disturbing claims coming to light. Rumors are swirling that Beyoncé was allegedly groomed and controlled by Jay-Z from a young age. Supposedly, he's been watching over her 24/7, dictating everything from what she wears to what she eats. The two publicly claim they met when Beyoncé was 18, but sources suggest she was only 16 when Jay-Z began grooming her.
Why has Jay-Z been coming up with you lately?
Because he's a monster. He's a monster. And I know he's a monster if he is. I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a kennel.
No, girl. Not my beautiful Beyonce fan.
I tell you this right now, y'all talking about free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce.
Beyonce is free.
She is a prisoner in a gilded cage.
Oh no.
She better than me. I passed. I made a good choice.
If Beyonce is in prison, she's in one of the most expensive prisons ever.
Yes, she is. And she's watched 24 hours a day. She's not allowed to make a choice for herself, not at all, not in any way. People think she has an amazing life. She is told what to say, she is told what to eat, she is told what to drink, she is told what to wear.
By whom?
She is not her husband's wife, she is his employee. It's a business arrangement. She was a dowry. He married her and he got to have control of the Houston rap scene behind the scenes. Matthew Knowles handed it over to him, and then he Eddie over, moved him out the way and took the whole for himself.
No.
They were supposed to share that bitch. They supposed to share. But Sean Carter don't share so good. He likes to keep everything all to himself. And anything that he can't move around or move out the way, he'll just remove. I'm tired of you, Sean. That Jacqueline Avon, you went too far. You and that demon honeycomb. Y'all had that mother shoot that 80-year-old woman in the back so that you could dope up her husband and move him out the way and claim his spot as the kings of LA. I promise you, you will both fall. You will fall. You shot Nana in the back. That's how bad y'all wanted it. You murdered an 80-year-old woman so you could drug a 90-year-old man who didn't want to retire and turn it over to y'all greasy.
According to whispers from insiders like Jaguar Wright, who's also made explosive claims about Diddy, Jay-Z is even worse because he's patient and methodical, whereas Diddy was just reckless. There are claims that Jay-Z allegedly hit Beyoncé at one point, until her father stepped in and put an end to it. These insiders suggest that Jay-Z is the puppet master behind the scenes, using everything from people to substances to keep control. Now, it seems Beyoncé is trying to get out.
And according to what I heard, if certain things that I can't even speak on come out, she gone. She's gonna protect her image. All right. And this, I mean, I don't know what would be the bigger divorce, Will and Jada or Beyonce and Jay-Z. But just know everybody's gonna be talking about it. TMZ's gonna talk about it first, and we're gonna be talking about it probably for 6 months. He knows it's about to be over. Shading the Grammys, shading the industry, and then they left after that. They left. He already knows. So what I'm realizing, and I was saying this to somebody the other day, you know, none of us ever really get away with what we do in life. Like, it comes back one way or another. And yeah, Satan is here to collect, Sean. Satan is here to collect. Now, let me tell y'all where he got that damn hair from. Yeah. I mean, y'all should know this, but that was his inspiration for the hair. Jean-Michel Basquiat. That was the inspiration for the hair. Wasn't he by Rossi or Rossi? I think it's Rossi. Rossi, this is the entertainment industry. Pretty much everybody's by. I'm here to let y'all know. Pretty much everybody's by.
How long do you think it is before we start seeing people suing Jay-Z? Let us know in the comments.